And welcome, everyone, to the MyMac.com podcast. And, you know, you would think that Apple was in dire straits based on what analysts are saying. Now, some of it is true and some of it is false, and it's all overblown and pretty much inconsequential long-term. AirPod and AirPod Pro assembly lines being shut down for an unnamed new product just before the Christmas holiday season buying rush because, you know, that makes sense. iPhone 14 lines shut down due to dystopian COVID-19 authoritarian demands. Might be somewhat true. And M2 laptops that only measure 13 inches at best. Currently is true. Apple surely must be doomed, Gaz, except they're having one killer quarter after another. So either Apple is lying or analysts just don't have a clue. I'm not normally a betting man, but I know where I would put my money. How are you today, sir?
Well, I'm very well, thank you. And all I can say is
shut down.
Shut down.
The MyMac podcast won't be shut down. We will keep going, whatever.
If you want us to or not.
Whether you want us to or not, whether Apple wants us to or not, whether anybody wants us to or not, we will just keep on rattling along.
We'll show you.
I'm very good, thank you. I'm very good. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the last show or not, but I'm actually finally finishing at the end of this month. It is
for work
D-Day
completely.
Yeah, so well, when we say completely, you know, at our age, do we ever completely retire? You know,
yes, when we die.
I call it semi-retirement in terms of, you know, proper money earning, but I might have to do a few, you know, pocket money jobs. Let's put it that way. But I am actually officially finishing at the end of this month. So we shall see what happens from there on in. If the money runs out, I will continue to work in the future somewhere. But yes, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to actually spending a little bit more time on MyMac.
So we'll be able to do more podcasts together. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'll just be more prepared. Not. No, I mean, you know, there's so many things that I'm starting to create a list for myself. Never mind Mrs. G making a list for me. I'm actually making a list for myself to do. And, you know, there'll be cycling. There'll be lots to do. There'll be lots and lots and lots to do. But, and yeah, it coming up to Christmas time, you spend a little bit more time in the house. So I'm planning on doing a little bit more with my photos and sorting those out a little bit. Yeah. So it's now getting close to officialdom. That's it. I mean, I won't be able to afford to heat the house or, you know, eat, but that's fine.
Yeah, but you won't have to work, so you'll be using much less calories.
Correct.
Yeah, that's how that works. That is exactly how that works.
Exactly. How have you been this week, and what have you been up to in your little land of Guy?
Well, funny you should ask, because I'm not going to go into the whole story, but just before we started to record, I got a call from my son, and there is all kinds of stuff going on there. But we're not going to get into that, even though I mentioned it here. But there are other things going on. For example, I've started to put together my lists for the family for Christmas. But for tech only, what I'm getting the wife is decided. Everybody else is still kind of up in the air. She has an iPad that is like one of my old ones. And by old, I mean old. This is a super old iPad. I think the display is actually kind of like with the Flintstones, where you've got the bird behind the screen that's tapping out what you're going to see.
Yeah.
So it's pretty old. I've decided I'm going to get her probably a last gen iPad with 256 gigs of storage. She only kind of uses it for mail and puzzle games and YouTube videos and so on. So it doesn't have to be like super powerful. That wasn't even really on the list for the decision process. The other thing that she's having trouble with, she's having problems syncing her mail onto her phone, which had me puzzled because she does have an iCloud account and it is turned on. And I think the mystery is solved, but I won't know until later, because she only has a basic account that has, the 5 gigs of free storage, and has a pretty big photo library. Now, I, on the other hand, have the 2 terabyte account with, I can have up to like 5 members of the family on.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Do you have the 2 terabyte separate, iCloud storage account, or have you combined it with your Apple One?
Oh, it's in the Apple One subscription.
Okay. Yeah.
So my original suggestion to her was, well, just come onto my account and you'll have all the storage you could possibly need. You won't have to worry about me seeing your mail or your photos or messages or anything like that, because it's all separate. And, she looked at me like I was insane, as, it's her normal look.
Well,
Yeah, you would have thought I put a month-old fish in front of her. The other thing I suggested was to go ahead and get the 50 gigabyte plan. That it's only $1 a month, and that would take care of her problem. But so far, she has yet to do either. So at this point, I've told her I have given you 2 possible solutions. If you choose to do neither one of those, I don't want to hear about your mail problems on your phone until you do one of these things. So that's what we got going on here.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just to point out, I also,
sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I still had my banner up there. It was like, why have I got that banner up?
I still have the old iCloud 2 terabyte storage option, and I have just my membership, which I do share out with the others, because you can share it out, which has got the 500 gigabytes of storage. So I've actually got 2.5 terabytes in total.
Nice.
But I'm using the 2 terabytes, which actually makes the plan cheaper than having the full plan. But obviously I don't get the news and I don't get the fitness and all that, but that's by the by.
Honestly, I don't really even use most of that stuff that much.
No.
But you can't get the 2 terabyte plan unless you get all that stuff.
But just in case anybody's thinking, all you can see, because I just went in to have a look, and basically on the iCloud storage, all I can see is actually how much storage each of the family is using. You don't see any more. You can't see anything else, only how much they're using. So,
well, to be fair, there is one caveat to that. If you have your kids on and you mark it so that you can review their stuff, and this comes into play in a bunch of different ways. It comes into play with messaging, so you can make sure that, there's nothing nefarious going on there. Photos, it also comes into play with, what is it? Purchasing. So if they want to make a purchase in the App Store, it has to get your okay first, if you have the settings turned on that way.
Yeah, but
and if you have a credit card,
you're not going to do that for your wife, though, are you? So,
well, not for the wife, no, but I would for my kids.
Will you? Yeah.
Well, not now, because they're like 26 and 28, but before I would have done that. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to move us on.
Okay,
Guy. So I'm going to ask you a question.
Sure.
What mic is Guy using today?
No, we don't use that music for that. It's the same stuff I had last week. I know, shocker. So
shocker. You see, folks, I think I had this discussion last week.
I
complained about it then, and I'm going to complain about it again this week.
If you don't say anything, I change it. If you do say something, I haven't changed it. And somehow, some way, we have this psychic connection to where
it never works.
It's one or the other. And it's always on the opposite end of the spectrum. So because you said something this week, I haven't changed it. Now, next week, if you neglect to say it and go into Gaz's snippets, I'll be like, hey, no, hold on. I've got this, everything has changed and everything is wonderful now. And all the old stuff sucks and all the new stuff is great. No, okay. I'm still on the road, NT1, and it's still connected to I love this thing, the Behringer Ultra Voice UV1. Damn it, Behringer, you should be sponsoring this show.
You should.
For as much of your stuff as I have used and purchased over the years.
Call them now.
Yeah,
anyway,
right now.
for a mic that never changed, that still took far too long. I'm not going to go into click Gazzy snippet straight away, because if you remember, I mentioned last week that sometimes we've got to reverse out of Gazzy snippets. If I press the button. Yeah. Well, I tried to do it. In fact, I didn't try to do it. I successfully got the played in reverse. And it sounds rubbish. Oh, it sounds awful. And it's very no, I haven't put it in because it's just awful. And it doesn't sound like that being how you think it might sound being played in reverse. So I'm not going to have a reverse of. I'm just going to say we're not doing that now. Now that's 3 times. So now we're going to go into Gazzy snippets. And I've got to play this twice. Gazzy snippets. Right. See, and that's for all the OCD people out there who will know exactly why I had to play that 5 times.
I lost track.
It was 5 times.
Okay.